How can one help people who are hurting from residential schools?
Oh boy. Hmm. Acknowledge that it happened to our elders, and I don't know, Ty, it has to come from your own self. It has to start with your own self.
What message would you like to give other survivors and descendants who struggle with their trauma?
Get up every morning, be thankful. Uh, it's just we have to better ourselves and try and find something to be proud of. And right now, there's, like I said, there's not a whole lot of pride amongst my people. And it's just, but alcohol and drugs, uh, that's the big thing is that to push that away and try and better yourself. And it's a tough one, Ty.
Um, where would do we go from here?
Where do we go from here? The big thing for us, like I said, is to we all my people all know this happened to our elders, and we have to stop that cycle of of no pride and trying to fix ourselves. That's the only way we're gonna advance to become a healthy people.
Um, Basically, like people have been taking off the land and like forced into these schools and stuff, so they've lost their cultural and their heritage. So, would going back to the land and practicing these traditions help them to gain pride in themselves again?
I believe that going back to the land and learning our traditional ways. That's another thing that myself and my siblings lost. All our traditional ways, powwows and feasts and all the native stuff was never taught to us. And I myself trying to learn, trying to go to powwows and try to go to traditional stuff. And yeah,
Basically, just one last thing. Why didn't your parents want to teach you about your language?
sorry.
Why did your parents not want to teach you about the language and stuff? Is that because of what they experienced in residential schools?
When my dad spoke Cree, they got beatings for speaking their language, and I totally blame that as to why we weren't taught the Cree language.
Yeah. Um, and then just so the people know, what residential school do they go to?
Pardon me.
What residential school do they go to? Do you know?
Dad went to Onion Lake. He ran away from there a week too soon. Got caught, hauled back to school. Got shaved bald. A week later, the school burned down, and he got sent home. And I'm very, I'm very grateful that Dad didn't send us off to a residential school like so many other people did. I can't get my head around that when people knew this was happening, yet they sent their kids there. And I'm very grateful that Dad didn't send any one of us to the residential school. And
Did he ever tell you why he didn't?
he knew, he knew what's going on there, and like I said, thank God he didn't put us there. And we all knew Dad loved us dearly, but not once did he say a word to us. Sorry, Dad?
How has not going to residential schools helped you to be like a better parent or like helped you in your life?
How did it help me?
Mm-hmm.
The love wasn't taken out of me, and I was able to give my love to my wife and my kids, and every day, every night, love you, love you. And it's easy to say it, but you also got to show it. And I believe that if I went to residential school, I wouldn't be able to say that word too, because like my dad, late dad did. And,
Like growing up, were you aware that your parents went to residential schools? Like your dad?
we knew, but it was just Dad. Mom didn't go.
Dad.
Just Dad went to residential school, and he didn't talk much about it. Just it said he got put to work and wasn't able to speak his native tongue. He didn't speak much about it, so but we knew he went.
How did knowing he went affect you growing up?
Sorry.
How did knowing he went affect you growing up?
Back then, we were too busy. We were kept busy from Mom and Dad. Like we didn't give it much thought, I guess, Ty. Like I said, we were loved and we were safe. And yeah.
Is there anything else that you would like people to know about residential schools and how being a child of a residential school survivor affects us descendants of a survivor?
Oh, I think for people to admit that the schools were put up to eradicate us, and I'm glad to see we're still here, even though we're struggling. We're still here, and we just gotta find a way to better ourselves.
How do residential schools and like being survivors of residential schools correlate to the representation of Indigenous people in, say, the child welfare system or the justice system? How do those things correlate?
I truly believe that residential school took a lot of our people's love and pride out of them, and it just continues a cycle after cycle after cycle. And I've heard that it's going to take 7 generations to get over this, and I'm only the second generation since residential school, and I believe that's why so many of my people are in trouble with the law and losing their kids, their children. It's because they were shown a love, and it just, like I said, cycle after cycle. And I'm proud to say that I broke that one cycle. I broke that cycle.